Hey, this is Cameron, and welcome to the reaction log. Whoa. Alright, we got a special spicy one here for you. And in fact, we've had a special spicy week when it comes to beefing with other genres of music. We had a whole thing with Marson, where our enemy is the tappy steel string acoustic guitar. We had a little mini feud with Sapko with the electric bass, all that stuff. Instead of picking on individual people, why don't we just go ahead and cut right to the chase and just dog on where they all come from? The world's largest factory for guitars. By the way, this is a video by Philip McKnight. I do enjoy your clickbait title, What No One Tells You About the World's Largest Guitar Factory. And before you ask, I actually already know what it is they don't tell you. It's that they all sound exactly the same. Whoa, that's right. And why do I care about this? Let me go ahead and introduce myself, which is a very standard thing to do at the beginning of any presentation like this, because I don't know if you know who I am. Well, I am a classical guitarist here on YouTube. And what does it really mean to be a classical guitarist here in the West? I'm in the States, by the way. It means that everything you buy comes from a factory, except one thing. It's not your shoes, it's not your clothes, it's not nothing like that. It's the most important thing in your life. It's your guitar. The only factory I want my guitars coming out of is some guy's garage. Hey, we get a nice little scene of a factory to start this thing off. I don't know what's going on with this factory, how ethical it is. I imagine it's probably not ethical, but at least they get a nice mountain view. So, you know, alright, I'm not gonna... Hey, you might get upset at me for making that joke, but I don't contribute to this, so I can say whatever I want. I put my money where my mouth is, and because of that, I get to rest assured that the worst human rights infringement that comes out of making my guitars is perhaps the luthier had one too many garage beers and his wife is pissed at him now. Let's go ahead and jump into this video.
The Quartet factory has a secret.
It has a secret. The secret's child labor. Alright, I don't know.
Sounds ominous, doesn't it?
Yeah, whenever a factory has a secret, it's usually not a good secret. By the way, look at that extensive guitar collection you have behind you. You know, there's the usual joke that I make. They all sound exactly the same, right? I'll say what electric guitar does have on classical guitar, they all do look very different, don't they? But man, you can just slap the same pickups and the same amp on any of these guitars, and they will all sound exactly the same. Whoa!
Actually, it has a bunch of secrets, and I'm going to share them all with you today.
Oh no. Oh god. Alright, well maybe don't share every secret. I don't want to get demonetized here. This video is going to get really dark.
Now, the first thing you need to understand is that the PT Quart
It's
factory...
good. Made with love right there. The CNC machine.
PT Quart factory in Indonesia does over 1 million guitars a year.
Dude, 1 million guitars a year. This is actually a good time for me to bring this up. The demand for guitar is that high, and that's why if you're a guitar student, like you're studying in university, you are first probably a little ostracized from the rest of the music school. I've talked about this before. Music school is all about the band, strings, and choir. That's the money right there. And then there's a guitar program usually. It's smaller. It's not really respected in any way. But this is something that the band, strings, and choir won't tell you about. Nobody's interested in learning any of those other instruments. You, my friend, will have a job when you get out of college. It's not going to be an orchestra job. But guess what? Most of the people that you know in college orchestra, they ain't getting that job either. What you get is the immense demand there is for learning the guitar. Ask any kid if they could learn one instrument, it's always the guitar. Especially when you have sensationalized figures like Marson and Tim Henson gallivanting and tapping and showing everyone how cool the guitar can be. Kids love it. And I know that might sound like a joke to you guys, like, oh, you'll be a guitar teacher? Like, that? What kind of job is that going to be? Once I built up my online guitar studio, I was making a fine living. By the way, the website that I used was outschool.com. It worked for me, and I have a sign-up link in my description if you want to try using that. That helps me out if you do that. There are other websites though, so maybe search around a little bit. I don't know if that one's saturated by now, but you can be diverse. It's all about just making a profile and a class description and just make a bunch of accounts for different places and just see which one works. But yes, if you're a student right now, 1 million guitars a year being made, that's dollar signs for you.
With 2,500 employees making over a dozen different brands.
All the guitar brands just come from here. They do sound exactly the same. They're the same guitars.
Is that there's different qualities, different levels, and different buildings for those qualities and levels, and I'm going to break it all down to you right now. Let's start by going to the Acoustic factory, where they make 25,000 guitars a month.
Dude, do you think they cleaned up before the camera crew came around here? We're seeing this in the best conditions possible, I bet. I don't see any children.
The affordable instrument level. With an acoustic guitar, where essentially it still has to be a handmade product, these workers work extremely fast and diligent to keep the quality high.
Well, nothing says high quality like fast, rushed work. This is what Cordoba means when you buy a C12 and it says handcrafted. People certainly use their hands to put it together.
These workers work extremely fast and diligent
to keep the quality high.
That tape is staying on, by the way. They're just going to gloss over it.
Are considered affordable student-grade instruments, and to see this kind of level of quality and care put into it was really impressive. And actually, let's be honest, the speed was very impressive to watch as well.
Well, dude, I'm sure they're good at it, making $25,000 a month. Jeez, man. I still can't believe that there's demand for that many guitars. Like, once you have a guitar, that's it, right? You have a guitar now. I guess these are so cheap, you can just keep buying them.
What you're watching here is a top of a multi-laminate acoustic guitar that, again, is going to be helping somebody at a student level.
Look at that beautiful wood, too. What do you think that is? Like cardboard? Maybe plywood if you're lucky?
This could easily just be a decal and they wouldn't have to do any of this. But of course, they're trying to make a quality instrument and it comes across. To give you a reference, the time it takes her to prep the top, put the glue in, put the binding in, clean the binding, then wash off the extra glue is exactly 1 minute and 30 seconds. So she's making one of those tops every minute and 30 seconds.
You know, he's kind of talking about this woman's job like it's like cool and impressive, but it just bums me out. This is like soulless. I wouldn't want my instrument to be made like this. Just like you spent a minute and a half on the rosette and that's it.
And this is where another secret needs to come out. A lot of people.
The premium factory. I bet these guitars are going to be so premium.
Especially on the internet. Love to tell you that all the Cort guitars are the same. And essentially if you...
Do people like to say that? I thought that was my thing.
This brand makes it there and this brand makes it there and they're all made the same quality. Well, not only is that not true, but let me explain to you how it really works.
Yeah, this guy was paid off or something. Don't trust him.
Not only do different brands have their own buildings, but their own designated employees for their product and their own wood supplies and parts. I'm going to show you how the levels even work out, starting with the premium factory. This is where you're going to see your mid-tier and upper mid-tier price guitars coming out of Indonesia. This is a perfect illustration of what you could see coming out of this building. This guitar sells for $1,300 US with a deluxe gig bag. Comes with Seymour Duncan pickups, and this will give you an idea of what's coming out of this building when it comes to quality and price points.
One of our founding member.
That employee has been there for 30 years.
Anybody watching, if you own an electric guitar, that guy probably oversaw the production of that guitar. All those guitars are his children. He's like a religious figure to us.
And they said this is the most difficult building because it has one of the highest volumes with one of the highest qualities. In other words, they make really premium guitars, but at a massive amount.
They're so premium that they make a ton of them.
A couple things worth noting in this building is that not only do they use some more high-end tier woods, this is also where they're going to use a lot more premium electronics and components like Fishman pickups, but also it's where they're going to use stainless steel frets.
Wait, the premium uses stainless steel frets. What are the non-premium frets made of? Yeah, for the non-premium guitars, we just make the frets out of garbage. You know, straws, plastic, whatnot.
I noticed that we saw a lot of Music Nomad tools in this facility, especially with the nut files being a highly used tool, which is interesting to know because you always wonder if they're going to use something specialized or something different, especially since the volume. They found that the Music Nomad tools took a huge beating when it comes to the nut files, which I think is important to think about.
This is actually kind of cathartic to see because the first kind of nice classical guitar I ever bought was a Cordoba C12. I bought that in 2021, I believe. It should almost be paid off. I did a 4-year loan on it at 0% interest, musician's friend credit card. But when I bought that guitar, which mind you, they talk about how it's like, oh, we do these 14-point checks or whatever it is. We have luthiers looking over it. And I was like, okay, fine, I'm paying $2,200 for it. It should be like set up and playable when I get it. But when I got it, I swear to God, the action at the 12th fret was like half an inch. It was unplayable. And I had to do all this filing myself. And it's nice to know it's not a team of luthiers who actually care about your guitar. It's just some people in a factory that have like a minute and a half to set your guitar up and they just do it as fast as they can. That's what you get for $2,200. Or you could spend an extra $1,000 for a local luthier. I know we don't see any children here yet, but at least you can know that the only child labor involved in a luthier-made guitar is the luthier just telling his son to get him another garage beer. It helps with the craftsmanship. Don't question it.
Now I'm going to take you from the premium factory to the master factory.
Oh shoot, master, is that like better? Was premium the second?
Highest level of guitar that Cortec makes for either itself or other brands.
What's going to be higher than premium that's still made in a flippin' factory? Are these the $10,000 PRSs that you see? They're still made in a factory? Really?
Compared to other factories.
Wow, that looks so much better than the other ones we saw. That is master level.
Production output, so they can pay more attention. They can
It's just a piece of wood. It doesn't matter, like, the quality of the wood. It's a solid piece of wood. There's no soundboard. Nothing's gonna vibrate. You need electronics to hear the guitar. What's the real point of this, other than you just are bad with money?
The main goal of this factory is to make guitars that can compete again.
He's, like, explaining, yeah, this is really gonna freaking do a lot. The solid piece of wood with strings on it. It's gonna sound so much different from other solid pieces of wood with strings on it.
This building exists to compete with high-end USA or even made in Japan guitars, and you can see where it starts. Obviously, when we looked at the other wood samples from the other facilities, there was a lot more wood. There's a lot less wood here. It's more select. It's dried a little better.
What happens if your electric guitar cracks? Can that even happen because the wood is just so thick? If that does happen, does it affect the sound at all? I feel like it can't, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense for it to.
To me, besides the pure SSE building, look the most like what I've seen in the US when I look at USA manufacturing. Even down to using robotic systems to paint the guitars so that the finishes are perfectly applied and ultra thin.
Painted with love. I do not know love. Is this my purpose?
Some of the most high-end guitar manufacturers. A lower amount of employees, they spend a lot more time on each instrument, and this is their most premium tier in every category.
Dude, they couldn't even get the frets right. They're all messed up. Real master quality, huh?
Whether they're making it for another brand or themselves.
Terrible.
Now, to give you a reference of what you'd be seeing coming out of this building.
The guitars look like they're on meat hooks. We're factory farming guitars over here. They're even pink like flesh.
And now we're going to go from the Master Factory to the Deluxe Factory.
Dude, Master wasn't the highest level. Deluxe is next. Alright, so Premium, Master, Deluxe. What's after that? Premium's like the lowest one. That's good to know. I think the Cordoba C12 was a premium quality instrument. And I was like, that sounds pretty good. No, it's actually crap. I should have ordered from the Deluxe Factory, obviously. Dude, I swear to God, if there's something after Deluxe.
So this is where price point is definitely the key. But I know what you're thinking. This is where that guy on YouTube told you that all Cort guitars are the same.
Hey, this is where that guy Sorans on YouTube told you every electric guitar ever sounds exactly the same. And it's true.
There is something that all the buildings do have in common. Every single employee plays the exact same song.
This is like chromatic scale boot camp right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not taking new students right now, but if I were, the first lesson would just be go to Indonesia and work in this factory for a year. Those chromatic scales need to be better. Get those up.
All the guitars.
Ooh, a little slapping on there. Hey, slow it down. One of those frets could be buzzing. You'd have no idea playing it like that. Come on now. Terrible. I swear, dude, slow down. What are you doing, man? If that was your job to play the chromatic scale on every guitar, you would get so good at that if you actually practiced effectively, where you hear every single note. Try to get it perfect every single time. Not this, like... Not this... I know that wasn't very clean, but I do know how to effectively work on that now. I probably won't, because, like, when do you ever do that? Unless you're playing an Avenged Sevenfold solo, which I'm not, so...
Like all right. They're making a lot of electric guitars. The wood supply is much bigger. Keep in mind, all these factories are fed. A lot, things happening, lots of people sanding. It's just a large process, and you can tell, just like a mass-produced factory, it's producing just a lot of things.
I think I get it now. Master is the highest. Deluxe...
This game,
Uh-oh.
You're not ready for it.
Guitars in this factory will kind of hit you. And this is where, like I said, there's so much confusion on the internet. What you picture is a big building making all these brands guitars. But what I discovered being there was they have multiple buildings making all these brands guitars.
Very nice. That's beautiful wood. Look at that. It looks like a disease. So, in conclusion, there are multiple levels of guitar quality that you can get from these factories. Don't worry, they're very different and they cost very different amounts too. In some of the rooms, the guitars being made are like kind of crappy, and in other rooms they're really good. Same woods, same workers, same people, same pretty much everything, but they're different. So yeah, that is the silly world of electric guitars. Alright, I think we can wrap this one up here. Hey, well, of course, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. Like I said, I'm not taking new guitar students right now, but I do know a lot of people who are. So if you want to be connected with somebody who knows what they're doing, join, let me know, and I'll do that. Email in the description. Hey, head on down over to Rootin's Delight for some merch, and maybe check out some more videos, of course. And yeah, well, I'll see you in the next one.